Okay.
But it's all I've been to Ghana 4 times. So it's surreal. If you had to come to Barbados, you will be mesmerized and you will find it totally surreal that there are persons you've seen in the streets who went to school with you. And I'm hoping that my visit here also as a Rotarian, where we can assist, be it with period of poverty, be it with finding employment. I mean, there are Barbadians who are eager to come here and invest. Today, I was on the phone with a gentleman who is willing to come to Liberia and set up a solar manufacturing plant here in Liberia to provide employment opportunities and knowledge transfer for Liberian youth. So we
From the Barbados.
From Barbados. So I'm hoping that.
And does he still have that plan?
Yes.
What is holding him back?
Well, one of the things that's holding him back, there is no bilateral arrangement between Barbados at the diplomatic level. Because what is very disheartening is that a black person like me from a country called Barbados, just 166 square miles, most Africans or all Africans can fly into Barbados visa free for 6 months.
Visa free?
Visa free for 6 months.
Not visa upon arrival?
No, not the headaches you get in North America and the European Union, where that's if your grandmother falls teeth. That don't happen in Barbados. As an African, you can walk into Barbados for 6 months visa free. But unfortunately, it was a bit disheartening that I had to pay $160 to visit Liberia as a black person in 2023.
Now that you are here, Mr. Cramming Holder. Cramming Holder. There may be Liberian officials and government officials listening to you. They will have the time to listen and watch this video. While you are here, before coming to Onitsha, what have you done? Have you met some officials of government here? Have you expressed the Barbados people's will to have a diplomatic relation with them so that this goodwill you have from Barbados can come to Liberia? You talk about energy federal in the country, for example. What have you done? She is like a tour guide to you. Who have you met?
But I have not met anyone. I'm not representing the government of Barbados.
You could do as an individual and relay that message to the people of Barbados.
Well, I'm trying not to get political because sometimes my passion tends to take the best of me. What I will say is that I would wish to promote the Barbados model. In the 1950s and the 60s, Barbadians were very poor persons. But what our leaders realized that the best investment in our country will be investing in free healthcare and education, where education is free and compulsory in Barbados. So that is a model that I would wish to promote to Liberians. Now in Barbados, the only resource we have as a country, 166 square miles, are our people and water. We are supported by water as a tropical
island. What do you, the resources is water? Meaning you go fishing in the water to make your economy looks better, maybe by selling fish from the water or so.
No, unfortunately no.
Or do you export water? No, what you mean?
No, it was just tongue in cheek. I'm just trying to say to you that the only real resources in terms of is our people, and all we have lots of is water.
How do you survive a country with no resource?
Good management is the key. Free education, free healthcare, and a lower corruption level on the index.
Let me come to Onitsha. What's your relationship? You are Roberts from Liberia.
Yes.
And I would say, well, super. And she's a daughter of one of Liberia's renowned musicians who got killed during the war. The Council Roberts, am I correct?
Yes, you are correct. That's our connection, the Roberts connection, and then I married a Barbadian, so that was the other connection. I have 2 children that I have Barbadian, so half of me is in Barbados. My grandmother, we happened to do our family tree where our grandmother said, we had family members from there because we're also, by extension, we have the Holts. We have some kind of connection to Barbados. So as we look into our demographic, our backgrounds, we'll see where we are related. Those families, the Weeks, like I said before, the Padmores, the Roberts, the Johnsons. We even have some Talberts that are connected. The Garnets. We have a lot of families that came and settled in Cruiserville, like he rightfully said. So we're trying to put this pilgrimage together. I'm so happy to be a part of it, because while living there, I always look at their model and say, wow, these people are 90% literate. How do you get to be 90% literate? The first indigenous president, Sir Errol Barrow, when he took over in Barbados, he made education free from kindergarten straight up to the university. So there's no excuse not for your children not to be in school. They invested in their citizens, they invested in their people. So right now, Barbados can boast of their literacy level. Like Camille rightfully said, they have water, which is their income is tourism. So you will find a lot of people.
A lot of beaches around. I read about it a bit. Yes. A lot of beaches, people moving there, and that's how,
and very hospitable. I mean, you have to be hospitable because, of course, if you have people coming and spending money on your island, you have to treat them the right way. So yes, it's one of the most beautiful islands. It's a very small island, but they have done well. The Prime Minister for Barbados, Madam Mia Moore-Motley, a scholar, you must go on YouTube and listen to her speak. She has done so much and working so much to connect, to do the Liberian and Barbadian connection, the African connection. I think it was the UG, it was 20, Camille, the African.
Well, yes.
Right.
What's happened recently is that our Auntie May, we call her Auntie May because she's that sort of informal.
Very down to earth.
She have always advocated for it to be G21, right. That the African Union should be part of the G20. And that has actually happened within the last couple of weeks. We're now there's the G21, which includes the G20.
So, yes. All right.
Yeah, so
let me remind the public that we're talking to two Rotarians officials. They are here, Onikta Roberts and Kami Holder. He comes from Barbados. He's come to assess our Liberia. He talked about the relationship between Liberia and Barbados. It's a small country that lies in the Commonwealth area, 282,070 people in that small place, but they survive on water. He has come to share his experience in Liberia, how we can establish a fourth diplomatic relationship here with them. And they were founded in 1654. It's a British Commonwealth nation, just right there around the Caribbean. And so they hear this after. But let me hear you because we don't have much time for you.
Right.
You talk about pilgrimage to Barbados.
Yes.
Tell us more about this pilgrimage. Who is qualified to be part of it?
So we're doing from 1865. We're in 2024. So the Sankofa pilgrimage to Barbados is a heritage event of our historical significance. So this date will be from May 6th to May 13th, 2024. So we are planning it. We have our ambassador, Lorenzo. He's there in South Africa. We have Mr. Rodney Sie that is working with us. They just returned from Barbados. We have Sean Williams with the Liberia versus Everybody. I think you see those teacher Liberia versus Everybody. He just visited Barbados. So Rodney Sie and our ambassador Lorenzo from South Africa, and they've been talking with the Prime Minister and everybody else to see how we can build relations. From my end, I've created a WhatsApp page where we have Liberian entrepreneurs that I'm speaking with right now because I'm also into agriculture. Okay. So I'm on the agriculture page with our Minister of Agriculture, where we have Evergreen, we have Himian vodka, we have Johnson Paul rum, we have Paul Young with our honey, and we have our fufu flour. All of those things from Rugi Berry. We want to take it to Barbados and introduce them to Liberian products. In Barbados, they have something they call kuku, and they make it from cornmeal and okras.
Okay.
And they eat it with the flying fish.
So you'll be taking them to the Barbados during this pilgrimage to showcase them.
Yes, to showcase our foods, the food that we eat. Like I've already introduced them to potato greens already while I was there, and palm butter. But hopefully we can now introduce them. And they like, especially the older folks, they want to experience our Liberian cuisines and our products. So hopefully we can open that market. We have Mr. Mark.
And those will be for sale.
Yes, we have Mr. Mark Hill there, a place called the Pelican Village, which is strategically located by where all the cruise ships come in Barbados, and they can, hopefully other foreigners from other countries can come there. We'll have a Liberian market set up there, and they can buy our products, our jewelry, our country cloth, and all of those things, and have things that are like.
How does one get there? Any of you can answer this question. What is it like? You provide few visa. They say no, it's visa upon arrival, not in arrival, but it's visa free, right? But how does one get there? You're on a pilgrimage, like for now in Liberia, many times the Muslims who are going on a pilgrimage to Mecca, the Liberian government undertakes some of the activities.
Right.
Sometimes the pastors are going to Israel, the Liberian government does that.
Yes.
Why in this case, in the worst case scenario, this is a new one you come with, the government doesn't have money, and you want to carry people there. What do you do as a government of Barbados?
Well, one of the things is that there are supposed to be just over 700 persons who will be part of this pilgrimage. And it is not only solely persons from Liberia, living in Liberia. It's going to be Liberians whose ancestors can be traced to Barbados from all over the world. So
if I don't have an ancestor, can I go?
No, we're not saying that, because we've gotten queries from far as Ghana and Nigeria, right? Because as far as I'm concerned and they're concerned, we are all one. So I don't know if the rallying point would be Ghana or somewhere in North America, but it's going to be over 700 persons or more who will be part of this pilgrimage.
Who takes care of them while they are there? If it's possible, I'll get there as Jala Greyfield. I'm one of the members of the pilgrimage. I go there. What do you do for me? Do you cater for my well-being, lodging, feeding, everything, my tourism fees, everything? Do you pay for it?
There is a registration form which is online, and Onika can share that information. And I guess you can provide that information where persons can register.
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead with that.
Just give me a little bit, Jala. Maybe I can send it to you.
Yes, one going. But I asked a question, comment about the incident. I was just asking, what is it in terms of plane fare? Do you transport yourself there?
No, as I said, there's going to be a charter. Different charters made from North America as well as from here in Liberia or even Ghana. Because they want to make it as easy as possible, because we still have the idea of airfare from Africa being quite 4 times more expensive than from Europe.
Yeah.
And then you have the issues of the visas where they try to restrict Africans from leaving.
Okay.
So as we speak, negotiations are also ongoing as it relates to a direct flight from West Africa or from Barbados to West Africa. Because the time has come where we must determine our own destiny and do not allow the former colonizers to continue to determine our commerce or our destiny.
Okay. So, Jala. So this is information from our ambassador in South Africa, and it basically said that the Barbados government is at the final stage of negotiations with 3 hotels for preferential rates for the pilgrimage participants. They're working with Africa to enable our negotiations with regional airlines for direct charter to and from Barbados. Importantly, this will enable a cheaper travel, cost B, and reduce travel time 8 hours max, and a C visa less travel for citizens of ECOWAS. And for more information, you can go to our website at www.backtobarbados.com.
You got that? It's backtobarbados.com.
All right.
The number 2.
Yes. So
yes.
Yeah. So just leave it. I will read that again. Yeah. But how does one contact you? We are almost at the end of the show.
Okay.
You want to call a contact number?
For my contact would be 0778 500 277. That is also my WhatsApp number. And for more information, like I said, you can visit our website at www.barbados2, the number 2, Barbados. So the 2 B's back are in uppercase, and Barbados are in uppercase letters.
You want to repeat the number?
My number? 0778 500 277.
Okay.
Okay,
you want to say something final as we take leave of you?
And one of the things that we're hoping to do while I'm here is that we want to do some outreach as Rotarians to see how we can assist those marginalized females.
Yes.
Because I realize that rape is still an issue, whereby last year 1,975 persons were reporting cases of gender abuse, and 77% of those were either sexually related incidents. So we're hoping to do something to assist those marginalized ladies as Rotarians while I'm here.
Right. So that's where Kemi and I connect once again, because I'm women right. I'm women's right. So Kemi and his partner are taking on a sanitary pad drive, where we're going to be discussing on Friday at our Rotarian meeting. He wants to visit the rural areas where I'm assigned to, so he can go to some of the schools and see, different things, and just take back to his partners and see how best they can help our less fortunate women and girls here in Barbados. In Liberia. Yes.
We hope we'll have some time again to talk. It's an interesting conversation.
Yes.
And they walked into LBS yesterday and said, we want to see the Director of Public Affairs and we want to talk to him about this program. And it's going to matter. We have talked, and those who are interested will get to you through your phone numbers or contact you via WhatsApp. It was a pleasure having you here. Coming Holder and that of Onita Roberts. They are two Rotarian officials who have been on the bumper show today. Now we're going to politics this afternoon. Thank
you so much, Darren.
Thank you.
Our president, you're making Africa best. You are the best, and world best, and the president of Liberia. Thank you.
And so very shortly I will be receiving this with Lawrence Deyuga. With over 30 minutes. Why he's not here, I will try to reach out to Lufa County. Because from Vanjama, it's Foya. Those of you who are on social media, just go to our social media platform, LNTV Library Live. You also watch LNTV right now and get the video of it. What's happening in Lofa County? And I said to you in my thesis comments, President George Manawia will be launching a $5 million scholarship program for 300 young people in the Paisley area. That's the president's own way of empowering people through education. It's free, there's a free tuition program at the University of Liberia. Free whilst being paid by the president. Hey, a president who I hope my grandma Edith Wisin is listening to this one. I hope you could speak the dialect, Mama. If she happens to be my value listener of the day, Madam Grandma Edith Wisin.
President, we are to be one year laughing, one part we are my body at the we are to thank you, our president. Oh, our chairman, we are every think of that. Don't stop on your friend. Take it easy. Go light. Take it off. Check the button. Up, over, back. Go even. Bye. Oh, when you do, I'm Otaka Udejiwe, President George Malebuya, Adelia Mita Tope, Kenuya Mamojile Keita, Tato, it's our program.
Oh yes, I'm trying to get to Titi Foka Jibro. By the time I get Titi Foka Jibro, she will give us an update, or Tokatano will give me an update as I wait my young brother Lawrence Deiga to be here very shortly. We talked, we had an enrichment. As a matter of fact, it was Titi Jibro that put me in touch with him, and we had a conversation that he comes. Let's have a small discussion about the President Weah's contribution to the education sector. I will try to get a Titi Jibro. If I get Titi Jibro, then all will be set for just for a few minutes interaction before Lauren Deiga comes. Even if he comes for 10 to 20 minutes, we can still have a conversation before my friend and brother, Mr. Saras Samula, comes in on the bumper show. I'm trying to get a Titi Foka Jibro sometime, and that way it's very difficult to get in Lofa. I was experiencing serious network problem for the last 2 weeks I was there, and then it was not easy. But if all goes well, Titi Jibro phone is ringing, and I hope she's here. Titi, are you there? No, Titi is still off. She has not come yet. Titi promised that we'll talk to. Okay, Titi is right here. Titi Foka Jibro, welcome you on the bumper show.
Shall I give you just like that?
Yeah, just like that, Titi. Where are you as you speak, Titi?
I'm just leaving Wansonga.
You live in Wansonga? Going to Foya?
Yes. Yeah.
So it means that you are ahead of the president convoy?
Of course.
You have to go to Foya to set up before the president comes for the final program today, right?
Of course.
How was a tenor in Wasonga? I've been in Wasonga before.
In Wasonga?
Yes, I've been there. I've been to Masambola Home. I've been to most of the areas. For the last 1 year, I've been going to the areas. How was a tenor today?
So there's no program going on in Wasonga. You know, it's the hometown of the former vice president.
Yeah, but give us a descriptive analysis of what you saw today in Kolahun. I know you were there today.
Okay, so we were in Kolahun, and you know what we've been seeing from Salaye to Zozo to Bonjima. What I think Kolahun surpassed that today. It was extra.
Kolahun beat everybody down.
In my mind, yes.
Wow.
Yes. The turnout was huge. It was huge today. You know, we got here early this morning. We got to Kolahun early this morning. And as early as we got to Kolahun, the streets were already packed and people were going up and down in their blue t-shirts, their red.
And I saw the photos, I saw the videos, I saw them. I was so overwhelmed with what I saw.
Of course. And I thought even His Excellency was really overwhelmed. You could hear that in his battle cry at the end of the program. So as usual, the program has a trend where you will have the first-time voters speak, and then there will be other, leaders in the place speak, and then they will have civic voter education that will be done by it's always done by the chairperson, the national campaign chair, and then the vice president will introduce the president and he mounts the podium. And he was really, really excited today talking to the people of Kolahun. They asked him for
the stadium,
a sports park.
Yes, sports park.
And he was emphatic today. He says, you guys have to find the land. And if you get the land, trust me, you have a sports park because it's a good thing and you have asked for it. I will give it to you.
And did you see that the beautiful intellectual center built by the CDC candidate Momo Safakpoto?
Of course.
Very attractive, just on the middle, it's very at the entrance of the road.
You can miss it.
Oh, yes.
It's very attractive. And we even went to the compound of Thomas Fala. And I was so, I saw the technical and vocational school that is built. That has been built by Representative Thomas Fala, and the women we spoke to over there were so excited that their children have an opportunity now to go to school, and that they have chosen development over, tradition, as we've been hearing throughout the county. And the president was emphatic today again, asking the people of Kolahun to, re-elect him, and when they do that, the roads because that is a big challenge. Even when we're coming today again, the road to Foya, we had to be pulled. We were pulled out. Our car was pulled out today, and it was even making rounds on the social media today.
Yeah, but Rome was not building one day. I saw people praying on Facebook. The president come and got stuck in the mud. But those who are criticizing, they were there for 12 years, and now the president is doing well. Putting quota on the road, so they say absolutely they will be. Absolutely they will be.
Excited because they have said that Lofa will be 60 years next year, and the current president of Liberia, is the only person who has decided to fix the road. The road from Bong to Salaye is complete, and he has promised. He has money now to complete the road, and they're excited, and they're going to vote for him because of that.
Now, why did he go to do the Wasonga? Every time we went to Lofa, he wanted to Wasonga. Why? The last time I was vice president of the press union, we went there for some purposes, and you were so hard-headed and said, I'm going to go to Wasonga. Why did he go to do it again?
No, Jala. The last time we came here as members of the Press Union of Liberia, anytime we went to celebrate our anniversary in any county, we will have journalists who will go to report from.
Yeah, I know that one. But why you want to do that today? Why you going to do that today?
I was here many years back. I wanted to see whether there's a change, in Wasonga, but the place. We got that the town is empty anyway. Just few people were there. We asked, why is the town empty? We're told that the other people have come to Foya. Those are physicians who have come to Foya to welcome the president. And those we met there are people who support, the former vice president. And we had a very warm reception. We had a very warm reception from the people who were able to speak with the brother of the former vice president. And we even saw the daughter of the former vice president. But the house,
you saw the former vice president's daughter?
Of course.
Did you speak with her?
We tried to speak to her. She said she didn't want to speak to her, so that was.
She lives there, or she has gone for visitation?
Yeah. She was washing rice anyway, so we're told that she's not too well, and she lives there. That's what they told us. But she didn't want to speak to us. And if you ask to speak to somebody and they say no, but his brother spoke with us today. His 75-year-old brother spoke with us. If you saw him, he's no different from the former vice president.
They have serious resemblance.
Of course.
Wow.
Yeah, but nothing has changed so far in Wasonga. It's still the same. And we're back in Foya now. As I speak to you, we cannot even get through the traffic.
I know. But if the traffic is there, as soon as you enter Foya, there is a market opposite. There's a market right there. Have you passed the market?
No, we're coming from the border side.
So if you get to Foya, just ask any of the motorcyclists, say, I'm going to Makuma place. There's a place to sell food. No, yesterday you didn't get.
When you send me somewhere to
no, but this one, Benjamin was overcrowded.
People say you always owe them, you don't pay.
But today, go to Makuma. It's a place right on the road there, everybody eats. Right on the road opposite the market. There's a short old man they call Makuma. Just ask for her, and she will give you a food, any kind of food you want. Only toboggy you will not get, because the people from Foya, they don't eat toboggy. They say it ain't like it better. They can say they left with that food. So they can eat toboggy. Just go there, she'll give food to eat. Say, Jala Gravy, say, when I come next, I will pay that money.
I'm going to try for the very last.
Go and try. If you can succeed, let me know. I will send it to somewhere else.
Okay,
all right. Oh, that today so has a DJ. She gone off. Lawrence is coming just 15 minutes to the time, but no time we can sit talk to Lawrence. And today told me yesterday, so we gotta get Lawrence come on the show at least for 10, 15, 20 minutes. As I said to you earlier, so the team has arrived in Foya. They've been running up in Foya. Tidi Jibro and the team, they have just returned from Wasonga in the home of former Vice President Joseph Nyuman Boakai. But I will talk to Lawrence Deyuga. He is a young Liberian. All right, so let me get this one. Let me get this one. I think the director want to talk to me.
We say thank you. The people of everything got to say. We say thank you. You brought to us our president. You begin African best. You are the best and world best, and the president of Liberia. Say thank you. We can see light. We can see
Lawrence Deriga, welcome. Lawrence Deriga is one of the young men in this country who is trying to put premium on education. As a matter of fact, he has been working behind the scene, and now he tells me the president of Liberia, His Excellency Gbagugbe, will be launching a $5 million Liberian scholarship program for 300 young people in Painesville. Lawrence, we don't have time. Tell us about that quickly. Run into it. When is that expected?
Yeah, so let me say thank you to ELBC for giving the young people the platform. And hopefully next week, the president of the Republic of Liberia will officially launch a $5 million Liberian scholarship fund drive in Painesville City. Last year, on the 28th of October, the president launched a $2.5 million Liberian scholarship fund drive for 248 young people, and most of them benefited. Some of them went to vocational schools, and also people living with disability from the University of Liberia. 26 of them benefited, and others are in high school across the city of Painesville. They benefited. So this year's edition, the president of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency President Weah, will officially launch a $5 million Liberian scholarship fund drive as a means of helping our young people in the city of Painesville to have access to quality education.
Who are the organizers of this program?
The organizer of the program is Association of Dream Builders International and Concern for Youth Progress. They are the lead organizer of this initiative. And the program certainly will be at the Painesville City Hall. Because of the president's busy schedule and his campaign activities, couldn't allow him to be there tomorrow. So this evening, we will communicate with him and officially have the date stated for next week, where the president...
So meaning it will be possible for tomorrow?
Yeah, sure. So those student fees that he paid last year will certainly be there to appreciate him as well, saying thank you for paying the fees of our young people in the city of Painesville. So it promises to be wonderful. And the president also received a petition from young people calling him to join us for the establishment of the Painesville Community College.
Painesville Community College.
Yes, certainly.
So by this announcement from Lawrence Deriga, it means that President Weah will not be tomorrow. He won't be there for the launch of this program. Meaning it has been rescheduled.
Yes, certainly. With the conversation with the president, because of the basic schedule, we will conclude that today. But hopefully next week, the president will grace the Painesville City Hall where he can launch a $5 million. He did last year on the 28th of October, where 246 young people benefited. So this year edition, we're going to 300 students in the city of Painesville. This is President Weah's own way of identifying with young people in the city of Painesville when it comes to the issue of education that he has been demonstrating over the years.
Now, Lawrence, where did you get these students from? How did you gather them? From whence they come? Are there indigenous ones among the people who are you recruiting? How did this whole dream come about?
Yes, what we thought to do is to sense the needs of our parents in the city of Painesville. Some of them, they are challenged with the issue of finance. So we thought it was as a means of helping them. You are aware the Sustainable Development Goals, number 4, talk about quality education. So from that backdrop, we thought it was to reach out to President Weah and explain what is the challenge of our parents across Painesville. So we have a conversation with him, and he said, I think there's a need that I come to the rescue of our parents in the city of Painesville. So this idea came about seeing young people roaming across the city of Painesville doing school hours. Some of the parents, they are challenged. Some of them don't have copybooks, they don't have pencil and other schools material. So we thought it was to work in line with the office of the president, because one of the purple agenda pillars talk about the issue of education. So it was against that backdrop we were able to convince the president, and he came to the aid of young people in the city of Painesville and launched a $2.5 million scholarship. When you get to Action Fit, the students benefited. The University of Liberia, we helped 26 of the students with disability.
But not just high school students, but university students.
Yes, certainly. The Association of Students with Disability that is headed by Perkins Ball received that money, and then his students actually benefited from the program.
Wow.
Yeah, sure.
So how do you select the university student? Because I know university libraries are free tuition area now. Do you have people there as well, maybe paying their registration fees because they're not paying fees for any course now?
Yes, certainly. Yeah, so what we do is that those students who are challenged in terms of ability, we reach out to them, specifically students living with disability. We get out to them, they explain their challenges with the issue of getting to school from and all of that to enhance their academic operations. So we thought to reach out to them. So we get back in the community, students that are challenged as well, roaming across. We get back to the schools, those ones that are performing very well. We see how best to help them. So what we did is that we have already concluded all of the report last year. We sent it to the president, and this year's edition, we will certainly be presenting a hard copy of the report.
So last year was 2.5 million.
Yes, certainly.
This year will be 5 million.
Yeah, 5 million. Like
meaning the numbers,
certainly the number will increase to 300 young children.
And last year when you had the 2.5 million, how many persons were you talking about?
Yeah, 246 students benefited. We have the Hot Pepper newspaper that carried our story. We have ELBC State Radio was present. Cool FM, other online platform for the sake of transparency.
Okay.
And we submitted a report to the office of the president.
Lawrence, what do you have to say finally as I take leave of you?
Yeah, so finally, the parents are calling on President Weah to join us again at the Painesville City Hall as he carry on his campaign. Next week, all of the students were assembled in the city of Painesville so the president can officially launch. And the president will receive the Painesville Excellent Award as Personality of the Year for his level of work and the issue of signaturing the amended drug law that reached to his desk and other youthful activity across the city of Painesville. So we're calling on young people, let's come and make some history together as we push this academic journey for young people across the city of Painesville.
Thank you, Lawrence Deiga. Lawrence Deiga is from the Painesville, how do you call it?
The Federation of Painesville Youth, Concerned Youth for Progress and Dream Builders. Those are the partnering organizations implementing this project through the office of the president.
Thank you, Lawrence Deiga.
Thank you.
We took time to talk to Lawrence Deiga just a few minutes. It's important to showcase these things that person where he's doing. I'm expecting Mr. Sarah Samula and the team, and hopefully when they come to be joined by Aze Jackson. If all goes well, when the president starts to speak in FOIA for 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, we can still bring that segment, just that portion. So you hear what the president is saying to the people of FOIA.
We say thank you. You're perfect to us.
Patrick Sowa has joined us from the USA. Patrick Sowa, welcome. He said, my friend Titi, now throw me away. Stephen Fowler said, good evening, great man. I'm watching you from Ghana's Chicken Soup Factory area. Mike Wissa Brown saying that. Ambassador Kim Neal. I'm following from a residence in Grange, Bangalore residence in Tucson City. Keep sending your comments, I'll read them for you. Karen S. Joe Jr. said, good afternoon, Jala. I'm joining you from Venyama City, Lofa County. Arthur Jones is right here. He says, good afternoon, Mr. Grayfield. I'm closely following from Grand Zai Town. Say I'm down. Great job, Jala, he says. Ketele Tobogi. Development Nina for Ketele Tobogi. Watching from Baltimore City, the USA, is Mr. Ketele Tobogi. Jonathan Davis. Good afternoon. I'm following you from Nima County, Yekepa City, Liberia. President. Mr. Alpha Sekpeni, good afternoon to you, the fast checker. Anthony, is it Anthony now? Alpha Sekpeni, the fast checker. Ada of Hayes. Ada of Hayes says, good afternoon, Mr. Grayfield. I'm following from Soaking the keep of the good work. Ada of Hayes. Good afternoon to you, my dear sister. Muya Sharif says, I'm following from district number 9 in Sinka this afternoon. While Ansu Samula says, CDC Ansu Samula is ready. Magua says, I'm watching you from Harper City, Maryland County, precisely from Sea Rock Beach. While Simeon says, watching from Iowa, the United States of America. Simeon, watching from Iowa, the USA. While Joseph Momo, baby boy, favored by God, E.D.D. Moluba, watching from India. Joseph Momo, baby boy, favored by God, D.E. Moluba. Go tell her do. Ruben Cannon follow me from Ghanansville. Botello Doyes join me from Greenville, Sando County. While Abraham Footsaki Jr. says he's watching me from the Malabon County Far East Junction. Jay Nima Infoke says joining me from the Police Academy area. No. Now the Willando Asset area. Amos T. My brother Jalam filling you from the great United States, Washington, D.C. this afternoon. Amos T saying that. Where are the people from the Grebo speaking area? Over G and Maryland County. Tato. Tato. B Newswise a crew man, is not a group man. And he comes to Sano. The 3-time defeated representative candidate. Make a respond now. You go for a position, the B, you go and go the B again. You say one go again. B News was Bego. And here we are.
We pray for good health, wisdom, understanding, and protection. When you are blessed, you are blessed. President, we are. You are blessed.
Where's my boy Elijah Red? How are you this afternoon? Where are you in this world, Elijah Red?
You are blessed. We are.
I saw Saros Momo Samuel comes in. I love the other panelists who go to our discussion. They come from the CDC USA chapter. He's the Secretary General of the CDC USA chapter, being joined by one of his colleagues from the USA. They have come to encourage Liberians to turn out to vote. They have also come to participate in the process. Hey, Giorgio, the president, like how she twist her tongue. Very shortly I will go to a discussion. Where's my cousin Galava Pla? It's called Galak Banga. Therefore, to Bagolo Saleh, hello for me.
President, we are thank you, our president. Oh, I show you where every think of that. Don't step on your friend. Take it easy. Go right. Take it off. Check the gun. Go it from.
I'm going to go there to where President George Malebuya. I tell you, me that don't get me and Mamma to the gate. It's all problem. I'm already getting one. I'm already station number 2. President George Malebuya. I get that dog. You can't get on war. Yes, somebody over. I'm on your way there.
Deshwe number 3, President George, we are happy that all. Here's my name.
We were chicken day check. Our president, here we are. President John Obama, we. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. I'm pressing the whole here we are.
Yes, I'm still expecting my guests. If they come here, we have discussed this. We done some publicity for the Arava, Mr. Cyrus Samula, the CDC Secretary General in the USA, and his colleague are due to be here, while they will be joined by Mr. Asik Jackson, Anthony Asik Jackson, former permanent representative of the IMO to the United States. He thinks that war drums being beaten by some Liberians here, including warlords who were active participants in the destructive civil crisis that displaced 250,000 people and killed indiscriminately almost 100,000 people. It's not just good for our country. It's the time to go to the process of election, free and fair, and there's no need for people to start warmongering around here, as it's been done by Prince Johnson and Bodneke. And with a statement coming from my uncle, the man who is very civil, and I know I don't want to believe those statements came from, but it's his own. If it was written, I would say not Buckeye, but it was said, it was recorded that this would be the end of Liberia if the government manipulates the election to cheat. But why would the government want to cheat in the first place? When you have these international community people here, you have all of these observers around here. They are observing every bit of what is a protest. It is a press conference. It is a political rally. The international community is here watching and seeing what is happening. That is why they will deploy their people in all the corners of this country. And it is incumbent upon you. It is very much important that you make sure to get some cash to assign pool watchers in all of the areas, because this thing is a transparent process. What happens at the ballot box when you go to vote? If Jala Griffith goes to district number 7 in Bonkade to vote, when he goes to vote that day, after the voting process ends, all the parties from every political party is present, or everybody is present. So what is they there when counting the ballot? Joseph Newman Boaka, they pull it up, they look at it, it's clear, they mark it, they pull it down. George Manawea, they mark it, they pull it down. Tewan say Gonglo, they mark it, they pull it down. Mr. Zalakomis, they mark it, they pull it down. And after all of those processes, the guys will tally the results, they mark the final one, and they post it on the wall. And journalists there will go and take photographs. And party representatives in that area will have a sound copy of all of those. So it beats my imagination. Come here. It beats my imagination that somebody will sit in Monrovia and brainwash people and tell them that they will be cheating them in the election because it's perceived. It's a perception. Every party will have a representation at the polls. So when the time closes up, you have them. Please have a seat, comrades. You have the guys, and they'll do all the tallying, and they'll bring the results right before you. So how dare someone will say they will be cheating them in election? This is a clear tactics to bring confusion here. You are making our people to panic. You are making our people to panic. This is not good for our country. People now go, I went by my fool, I went by my, I put in my house. Why are you doing this to our country? These are former warlords who killed people here indiscriminately. I saw the video footage on Facebook. Bodneke is buying them on a lady and asking the lady for forgiveness. He's confessing how he killed her brothers and sisters and raped 2 of the sisters. These are heinous crimes that were committed by these same people. Do they want to have a repeat of what happened here? We say no. And I listen to what the guys have been saying. This country is a country of law. If you think you can go into the street and destabilize our peace process, the joint security said, this is a government. We're not running a military government here. When you come and arrest and beat you, no. But the government will take seize of the security. Having said that, let me welcome my esteemed brother and friend, Mr. Cyrus Momo Samula, Ambassador. Welcome to Liberia. You have the microphone. Yes. Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, come close to the microphone. Just press that button, they will turn red and they say, it's okay. Let me welcome Mr. Kaji. How are you?
Thank you very much.
Please introduce yourself better so that we will know who.
Oh, thank you. My name is Charles Kroji. I am the chairman for CDC USA Minnesota chapter. I'm also the chairman for the re-election President Weah re-election campaign from the diaspora USA, basically.
Charles Kroji, okay. Cyrus Momo Samula is the CDC USA chapter secretary, and he's here. Let's hear from you. How is the US? How did you leave the US? When did you get here, comrade?
Oh,
just avoid holding that microphone here.
Yeah. Oh, thank you ever so much. It's a pleasure being back home, especially to join you guys in augmenting the strength of the ever potent legacy of our colleagues in promoting the re-election of our President George Biden. So it's a pleasure being back home. I'm so happy and glad to be with you in studio, comrade.
Mr. Charles Kroji, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Can you come close to the microphone? Just sure. Avoid holding it as well. But what have you brought for Liberia? What news have you brought?
Well, I come first of all as a Liberian and to support the work of President Weah. So, as chairman for the re-election President Weah's campaign, we come basically as a team comprised of citizens from the diaspora.
Okay.
And so you are looking around the number between 500 and 600 persons.
You all came?
We are here, and we have started the basic work already. We have gone from one district to another. And our hope is to continue that process. Some of us will be traveling, hopefully by tomorrow, day after tomorrow, with the gender minister to Grand Jida County. We have a few of our people along with the president as we speak. And so we are here to empower what they have on the ground already, to let the opposition know that we deserve second term. And President Weah definitely deserves second term because I see a change.
Did you come on a charter flight? Because what I'm asking the question is that during Madam Ellen Johnson's elite time after she won the election, there were Liberians in numbers who were coming for inauguration, and they got stranded on the airport that day. And I remember the VOA playing this song from Miata family, and that song was resonating with the people, and it was so disheartening that they were coming to celebrate the victory of Madam Solly. They didn't come. How did they come? Did they come individually or did they come?
Well, sure. We came individually.
Okay.
And we came on our own expense as citizens.
Okay.
So our party is supporting everything we're doing on the ground, but just to show the love we have for the country, the love we have for the president and his administration, we came here with their voter registration on our own, and we have returned on our own as partisan, as our contribution to our party and the country. So yes, many of us came individually, not on a charter flight.
Okay. Cyrus Samula, you the Secretary General, tell us, you've been documenting citizens in the States. How many people do you know got registered in Liberia? Now, your friend Kaji tells me that 500 persons are here. Do we expect some more to come?
Yeah, we have 500 and plus to come. But
additional?
500 and plus to come. The accounts verify those that came and participated in the voter registration exercise.
Okay.
And they are waiting, they are prepared, they bought their own plane ticket to come down and make the voice heard. But interestingly, I remember 3 years back, on the president of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. George Biden, we went to the United States of America
to address the United Nations General Assembly. I spoke to him as a National Secretary General of the ruling party in the diaspora, and I said to him, I said, Mr. President, counting on this record, if you were to perform to the expectation of Liberian people, your second term bid for the presidency will be inevitable. Today marks the record where we left all our bills, all of our dollars that we have to pay back home. We bought plane tickets to come back because he proving to us that what all seem to have done have been done.
So you think a one-round victory is a must for George Weah?
There's one reason why we are back. Chairman Koji, the rest of the other comrades from the diaspora, not only CDC USA, CDC Canada, CDC all over the diaspora, even supporters of George or the President George Biden Weah, that are citizens, told the world to calm down, to talk to our people. Don't get me wrong. Komejala Griffey, that's one reason why come December, they refer to us that will be coming back in December at Decemberies.
Okay.
Yeah, they call it Decemberies. Even though we have some economic impact to make back home, but the Decemberies are coming back home.
And that suited you very well. You accepted it. I said December, you guys are smiling.
Yeah, we smile with December. It means that we have a part of a part. In my mind, we say a part of a part is a part of a whole. All right, and then we are part of the diaspora. I remember during the transitional arrangement. All right, the diaspora were represented in the national legislature, like the youth were represented as well.
Yeah,
the youth people we had, Honorable Rufus Nigel. Then we have
the guy from Foreign Affairs. Now he's assistant minister. You had when Panama Jackson coming from diaspora. They were there.
Yeah, Reverend Jackson represented the diaspora. It means that we the diaspora will have a serious part to play in the process, because this our home, we don't have nowhere to go, this our family. So we left all of our business schedule. We bought plane tickets to us to come back. We came with voter register. We are back to make sure that our presence are fair and to tell our people that His Excellency Dr. George Biden Weah is doing well. All right.
The last time you were here as diasporans, Liberians, you met the president at Jamaica Resort and you had a very good conversation. You, as the Secretary General of the U.S. chapter of the CDC and that of Mr. Koji, are you hoping to see the president again in similar manner?
Yeah, obviously. I'm told. I talked with him yesterday. Yeah, while he was in tour, he worked on our delegation.
A bit closer to the microphone.
Yeah, I spoke with him yesterday, and he worked on our delegation back home, and he appreciated us so much that we're making this sacrifice for our country. It's not about the nickels and the dime. It's about Mama Liberia. It's not about Samuel Charles Koji and my family or Comrade Chala Griffey. It's about Mama Liberia. All right. We live in the United States of America, for example. He and I live in the US. Every week we have some money
to send back home.
Yeah, to send back home. The immigration we send here, the horses we are building here, the family we're building here. We thought to come down to have a dialogue, talk to them. All right.
Convince them.
Yeah, convince them that this president is doing well. Can you imagine? Jala, I think you know that they entered the university of me around 99, 2000.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was. We paid $25 Liberian per credit. It was so difficult to even
going up at a point.
Yeah, it was so difficult to even get the $25 Liberian per credit. My two children, Abu and Queen. All right, they are now students of the University of Liberia. They don't pay a dime. Just letting the breading on Chairman Charles Koji and myself in a year that we can try to strengthen and rectify $5 to $1. We apportion our nickels and down to a different terrain.
Okay, I will come to you. Let me recognize Madam Lemon Flomo is watching us. Stephen S.K. Valley has joined us from ELBC Junction. Former MCC joining us from somewhere. Abraham K. David has joined us. Emma Stowe and Jay Nimoy Fokese as a watch with us. But let me come to you, Mr. Koigi. You arrived in the country amidst fears from some Liberians that there will be another round of crisis. You listened to the calls by warlords while you were in the state. I was thinking that this will scare some of you from coming to Liberia, where they threatened Prince Johnson, talking about Arab Spring. They're talking about a lot of things, being war drums, butt naked, and say that if there's any cheating, which they say it will happen, that they will go back. And Joseph Boakai, our uncle, say, if there's any manipulation, there will be the end to Liberia. Were you not afraid to avoid the plane to come to Liberia amidst all of these threats?
No, I'm not afraid. It's better to die home than to die abroad. And I would like to say to those individuals that are creating threats for our country to lower their tone. There's not one Liberia around the world that looks forward to another war. So I believe these are just fear factors. I don't think Mr. Prince Johnson will have the audacity to think that the Bush or taking arm again, the arm that he said cannot liberate
and
rule, I think he should stand exactly by what he's doing. Our politicians change, though. Yesterday we knew Prince Johnson. Today he thinks that he knows the policy of the CDC. He has his right to switch to any political party that he wants. To our old man, I respect him so highly because he's been a diplomat as vice president and work for the Liberian people in the past. I don't think such a statement coming out was a surprise to me, but we were not deterred by those statements. We feel those are just fears they're creating into people. Nothing going to happen. We will tell Liberians, go to the pool. For us, your children who return from the United States will be coming to your house from door to door to make sure that nothing going to happen. President Weah has protected this country with our United Nations. It is us Liberians ourselves that sacrificing. So why should I be afraid coming back to my own country? Because I know when something happens, those of us that do not want war will be here to protect each other. And guess what? We have a government in place, and that government take the appropriate action.
Cyrus, what's your take on that? I would like to join Asa Jackson in the States. He also has a similar dissenting opinion as you have about what is happening in the country about warmongering.
Yeah.
You just press the side so you can go off. Okay.
We want to defeat that. Liberia is all we have. This is our common patrimony. All right. That years back, we left from here, we went back in the United States of America, we struggle, and we hope to come back home to have peace. All of what the guys are saying, especially where I hear the former vice president crying, I think that's laziness. That's complete laziness. Go back to the people, tell them what you have done and what can you do to augment the strength of the Liberian people as per good democracy. So we are not afraid. We came down home. I'm happy to be back home. I'm happy to be with you in studio to discuss the issue, because my thing is that I told the president of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. George Weah, that in line with your developmental agenda initiative, until West Point is turned to Member Point, until Slipway is turned to Sinker, for us as CDC USA will sharpen the contradiction to the core. With knife and our throat comes our hair. We make sure in line with the developmental agenda. I see a lot of development existing all around. The West Point that I knew when I was at the University of Lagos, it's no more the West Point today. All right, the West Point is being transformed to a Maban Point. The slipway that I knew is no more the slipway today. The slipway have been transformed to a sinker. Are you following the analogy I'm trying to make?
Yeah, I know.
The slipway that we knew yesterday is no more the slipway today. All right, the West Point have been transformed.
The climate has changed. And you have a modern park there.
Modern park situation going. So a lesson is breathing on us in the United States or in the diaspora. So we thought to come down, to talk to our people, to move. Like yesterday, just an hour ago, where we the incoming representative for District 10 where I used to serve as chief of staff.
Julius Berry.
Yeah, Julius Berry. I went there and I told them, I showed them some of my tactics that I used to win District 10. And I told
you mean Josephine Davis?
Yeah,
I was driving coming down Painsville. I saw a huge crowd, and I was talking for almost 1 hour.
Yeah, we were with her, and then we are enriching, giving all the strategy that we use to have the late Honorable Julius Berry representing to that place, to have her there. So we back home with all of these expertise.
I say hold the line. I say Jackson, hold the line. We'll take it very shortly. Isaac Johnson, hold the line. Just end quickly. Okay, Isaac, welcome to the Bumper Show. You say you want to make some comments about what's happening in Liberia as relates to the threat coming from warlords and the former vice president.
Oh yes, Burger. Let me say, Jala. Let me say good afternoon. Absolutely to our citizens following the broadcast.
Isaac,
to be on the show.
Yeah, Isaac, we have a little interruption. The president is speaking now in FOIA. We want to give you just 10 minutes for the time to end, then we'll come back to the discussion.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah, so just to keep tuned, we'll come back to the president speaking now. All right.
Okay.
All right, Isaac Jackson. So get this into social media, and as soon as Damoa Fofana does that, we will hear the president speak to the Liberian people from Foya, Lofa County, where he's there on the county tour. I think this is the last engagement with the people there. We find this difficult. Let's see if they can do the adjustment that we can have them back. As a Jackson can call me back. As a Jackson coming back, we can have the discussion going on. In case of any connection, if it is done, we can interrupt this for a while and go to our social media guys and our OB crew in Foya, Lofa County, where the president is having an engagement through social media and that of a town hall meeting with the people of Lofa County. As a Jackson, you can come. We can be having some conversation while Musu Salif and Demo Fofana try to set up this thing. So doing that, what they on that. So you were in speech about all of the things you come to do, and Mr. Koyeji was talking about going with the general minister to some of the counties. Many of you who came to Liberia, I know you have from different counties. I don't know whether you register your home counties or whatsoever. Are you encouraging people to go back home? Those of you who came from the United States to go back and see your people for election, even if you register in Monserrado?
Yes, that's what the team is about. We have spread out for like me and from Sino County, and we have other people who come from different counties.
Okay.
Before elections, the mobilization continues, so there will be people spread out to the various counties from the diaspora, not CDC USA alone. For example, our national chairlady, Madam Constant Duopo, she registered in Sino County.
Okay.
So she'll be returning this weekend. And she's going to be going to Sando, and there are a few of us going to go with her. So yes, we are not going to go. I register in Monserrado County,
okay,
but I'll be returning here. But meanwhile,
you have to go back home to see your people.
Yes, you know.
Is that the way? The same with you, Mr. Samala? Have you gone back to Cape Mount?
Yeah, not only going back to Cape Mount, like you must be in the know. I have a natural constituent with Monserrado, coming Griffith. And by the way, when I was in the United States of America, there were two auxiliaries that were established. You know, one in my name and one in my little niece's name. She's a powerful supporter of the president's agenda. All right, so we are here. Those auxiliaries are working with us in line with the auxiliary chair,
Mr. Jala.
Yeah, Mayango Jala, they are working in Lahore as well. Share. Even though we came around the guys were probably said no. I like to appear in the discussion independently along with my friends. So I don't want you can rise, some more. But it's a good thing that we are here and we're willing to go back, keep my or whatever part to support the president agenda, because it's not about us. Comrade, it's not about us. All right, it's not about BB. Once over the president go, everybody fire the president. No, we don't want to use that. We want to use the community initiated. Hello, we want to use the community initiate agreement where we use the community outreach. Chemakoji will go to a community, will go to meet a family, will meet a friends and discuss the issue why this president should be elected. Sarah Samola will have to move to his community and the lack of other colleagues that came from the diaspora, not only the US, all right, Canada, Europe, other places that will meet and discuss this issue. So we are stratifying ourselves in that agreement using the political initiative to make sure that everything is done and is done best in the interest of this government.
I think we've gotten some signals that the president is getting ready. Let's see if it can go.
Okay, because I'm up.
For our parents that you can follow, don't let people fool you. We are not here because we are. Then I don't need to be politics. But there was a mandate by the marketeer. And give them a house, make this man. You got to join the campaign.
Please let me know if the volume is okay. What are you hearing, the president?
Yeah, the volume is okay. It's okay. Sego is okay.
Okay, Taris, thank you for the great job you also doing for George Weah re-election, Taris Star. Thank you so much.
Like I said, I'm in my neighbor district. Don't know my neighbor, right? Don't know my neighbor. 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 Okay. I think where I stay, my neighbor county. So I'm going to respect my neighbor. I'm going to respect when we live in Riyadh. But what I want to say to you, when we live in Riyadh, ask my neighbor. I am of this citizen. A former senator of Masobaro County. My neighbor was vice president. I built Masobaro County 17 years ago. Riyadh was still looking the same. The only way road in Riyadh that when I was passing from my house to get to the street. Not all over the place. The new president, even on your house. The road are leaving to go out on the car slab down. The car is out for $10. Today that road is here. The road is here. Less than 50 years are very problem for 9 years now. Sector 5 years, look behind you. That's the only reason why you see. Look at the road. Look behind you. The only reason why you see the road are very commitment to problem land and look at the truth. Instead of looking John, go and see. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that it will happen. Our chairman of the Congress of Masobaro. I made the chairman of the Masobaro.
Thank you, Nathaniel from Bangkok, Thailand. Thank you, Nathaniel from Bangkok, Thailand.
My parents are all rich people, but I went to my grandmother because my mom and my father goes. Like to meet me, I'm calling you a force. I don't got someone that just born by the father. I want my people to get afford. I want to kiss that also street. I want my people to all the way to kiss that also street. For the rings that in my carpet, so my pocket get what? Or is that who will pour both in the store and you know your body will not get wet? That's why you see us.
That's why you see us. Leadership, almost children. People, our mothers. Our mother was working, my mother in the market, my mother from market. I saw people in the back in the market. So nobody tell you that, oh, I suffered before. I know that. Who suffer and go to the best schools? No, we did not go to the best schools. You come out today, you get a free YSP, you get free education. Sure. You have 176 years old. Family and friends, people of Foya. I read 176. In 171 years of what happened? In 5 years, unprecedented projects in our country. What happened in 171 years?
What happened in 171 years? You think I asked? In my head, I just admire someone. Why cannot be a man football and Ballon d'Or? I was a footballer. The Senate of football. But I went to the actual the truth to you. They tagged me as a ghetto boy. But guess what? Every responsibility they gave me, they tagged me as a ghetto boy. But they gave me peace ambassador in this country of ours. I did very well. They gave me peace ambassador in this country of ours. I did very well. I work under him and the minister of the common boss. Internal affairs. You are my and the minister of internal affairs. You are my leader boss. Muslim Congress. I went to Muslim Congress because I could not pay. So my teacher in the 10th grade. Muslim Congress. I went to Muslim Congress because I could not pay school fees. So what I'm doing is giving a scholarship by my friend Champ Rebian, my son. So what I'm doing today is not because of me or Champ Rebian, my son. See my son just tell her to see. George Junior. Like I said, if we are, and I said to the church, like I said, if we are, based on the respect I come to a little church, my grandmother, I don't respect for people. And based on the respect I have for people, and I will respect some of my comment. I can see today, I want to say to you, prayer, they say they not vote for us. I can see today, you made a commitment. So that even at that, I'm going to live here knowing that when you going to vote for me, will I trust you? Vote for me. I'm going to live here knowing that you going to vote for me. You're going to vote for me not because you're going to vote for me to see your skin light. You're going to vote for me because of the tangible. You're going to vote for me to see your skin light. You're going to vote for me because of the free. You're going to vote for me because I get free money. And that's why we are here. The free education. George, we are like brother better. And that's what we are here. Give me better. And I say to you, give me and see what more you do. Okay? You gave me 12 years. In the 6th year, when you move the corona thing 2 years ago, you can see that in our country, when you move the corona thing 2 years ago, you can see that in our country, it's not unprecedented. Everything we want to achieve, we are achieving it, we are it is 90%. I passed the senator. I
I was lucky that day the president called me when I was in the area. I went to visit the young boy. And I was lucky that day the president called me when I was in the area. I went to visit the president saw me the young boy. My man, fine. Let me tell you. And the president saw me the whole day on that road. My man, fine. I'm facing the road. I broke down on that road. I'm facing the road. Do you know how long we've been having blueprint? So what's my day said to get a blueprint? Do you know how long we've been having blueprint? Our blueprint was Sastas. I live in Sastas 1975. I went to have blueprint for Sastas. Live in Sastas 1975. I went to 2000. So what in the city? Like, bro, you take the house? Was that 15 years? They left, they want to come back. What they left there, they're coming back for. What has stayed 15 years? They left, they want to come back. What they left there, they're coming back for. We want to develop our country. We want to develop our country. It's not the path of prosperity. That your son, that your society. That your uncle, that your son, that your brother, let me tell you something, I keep on society. 1989. I joined Muslim 1989. I said until 1994. I went to English Arabic school. My grandmother died. I reconverted to Christianity to keep a church. So that's why I built a particular church for my grandmother. Muslim people. So let's move on. So I know everybody. I know Muslim people. I know Muslim gave me opportunity to go to school. You understand? Because the Muslim gave me opportunity to go to school. What he can do, no. So it's not about what he can do. What he can do, no. What he can do, then they'll vote for me again. I can achieve reasonable doubt. I can achieve it. Then I will go sleep so I can vote for me. You are voting for performance. Then I will go sleep so I can vote for me. The way I spoke, you see, because we speak for like this. Speak for people on prayer. You understand? I was speaking like this. You understand? And I'm not going to go anyone, you know, for anybody's name. But I'm telling you, the government area, this country can move forward. Let me make a mistake. And this person I trust already. If you really let me, I will do more. And this children, I trust them. I will instruct us chief in the parliament. So see, these are people that I know. I will instruct us chief in the So see, these are people that I know. Did I just forget? So people pass on your road. That one is not a joke. Yeah. I pass on your road. This is not a joke. That one is not a joke. Yeah. This is not a joke. So the chairman was president of the Senate. I pass on the road. The chairman was president of the Senate. The chairman was president of the Senate. Some vice president. The chairman was president of the Senate. The chairman, some vice president. You cannot tell me if a senator can roll there. President of Senate can do it. He is little village and roads. A president of Senate can do it. He is little village. Please. Are you guys feeling me? Somebody who is the president of the Senate. Are you telling me that somebody who's in the Senate, the president of the Senate, my president of the Republic, will not give you so life? Is that what you're telling me? Someone that was president that have their own budget. Are you telling me that you not renovate those offices? So nobody says they are fixer or they are rescuer. So nobody can tell you say they are fixer or they are rescuer. No, they are rescue team. They are rescue team. rescue team, they are rescuing team. How can somebody able church we are rescuing? I'm all about to rescue the whole country. Are you kidding me? The government rescuing them. Those men are saying they rescue, we are rescuing them. The government rescuing them. So how they rescue you? A very real market. The government real market. You want to be president? A very real market. The go to the people that are old, that made really want to be president, why you your market and break it down. The break in the wicked all the umbrella. Really see again, you see umbrella. The direction so how break in the wicked all the umbrella in the direction. The break the direction so capital man say I'm going to put the market up. They go back to Tory and the keep out the again. So who cares? You understand? So no far body man got to be different. Has to be different. You understand? Sure. 50 years body man got to be different. You understand? 50 years in government, there is nothing man. There's nothing man in project man. How you call it? This is the people who say yeah, the music project man. How you call it? Project man. I went there, I saw project man. I said what? Is that really no serious of project man? No what counting? That is so. And the fire, I got one fire. Bessie Yaga is a developer. Country. We brought 1975 around the country because I left in 1975. I know how if you open the door, snake can in or animal come in. I know how you live your life. We break out. We get free horses. The families in around our county. Yes, the best in there. Best in the proud of because the visible. I showed to there myself because it's not possible. The way they want to talk about the place here is just the prayer. We talk about prayer is just the prayer. You want prayer, we need to rethink. We need to rethink. You want prayer to be different, you need to rethink. Just the people that cannot do anything in their own life. They are not honest people, they are not nice to people. People that take care of them. You understand? Megan to all. What is it, Megan to all? Megan to all. So people of prayer, I want to let you know that I trust you. I live here. You inform me that you vote for me. Yes. And I know that people of Foya will vote. I'm going to live here. And I know that people of Foya will vote. The people of Local County will vote. But I can guarantee you, I will travel back here. When you re-elect me, I say I will travel back here. I will travel back here with my team. I say I will travel back here with my team. I'll travel back here with my team. And you'll see. I selected the government, but I don't the government so all the children come for me. I selected the government, but I don't the government so all the children come for. So for I tell you these are all the government. I'm the president. But again, we are all Liberians. You say I'm also control the government. I'm the president, and there's no who voted for me. So all I know is the Liberian people and the Liberian people voted for me. Thank you. So all I know is the government, fellow citizens. I want to thank you on behalf of my family and the government for giving me the opportunity to serve you. We have done well. The cabinet are seeking for our second term. We have done well. Remember, they say we are seeking for our second term to leave a legacy. Remember, they say we don't have experience. But for me, experience is not a teacher. History is a teacher. When you need to you can guess anybody that was an experience. I was an experience.
And then I went to IE. I want to learn that history. I went to Cameroon. It's an experience. So I'm a history maker. I went to Europe. I want to learn that history. I want to make history. I'm going to say, so I'm a history maker. And everything that I do, I want to make history. I want to say, see the road that Babylon is the road. You see the military hospital that Babylon is the road. You see the emirate hospital that Babylon is the road. You understand? So, for me, experience, all of the experience about different kind of moral. The play Martin that experience. Our best. The when you say the invisible part in Morovia, that's why we're doing the best. So when you pass on, you say the invisible part in Morovia, because I'm back there for IE. And know I've been in the invisible part school. Because I played there for years. I was in the Scarborough school. I played there the Muslim Congress. I was going to work. I was guilty. We need to stop. But if I can win by on the field, the church is on the same field. We need to change it. But you know what the few brothers, everybody that are living in that community in the zinc shower, almost 200 homes. Like the president that I gave them. Around the villages, all of you who see that, what we did. Around the villages, you can see we are deleting the homes and living. And that's why we are here today for you. Because we live that life. It's not a problem to live. And that's why we are here today for you. I want to say to all of you, Amanda. So I want to say to all of you, Amanda. 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 They've been rescued for a long time. Now they call themselves rescue teams. How can they see people rescue? They say they can rescue us. How can they see people rescue? They say they can rescue us. I'm telling you, this is how we give them your media friendly. Thank you for being media friendly.
Yes, you just listened to the President, His Excellency Ambassador Dr. George Mana. We are addressing citizens of Foya District in Lofa County, where Thomas Panga Fala is contesting in that district number 1 for the seat of the House of Representatives. So we'll give you some information later. If all goes well, the team stay in Lofa. We'll tell you when they come back to Banga, Bon County, go to Nimba, and later the president goes to the Southeast. So that's how it looks like. So I have 2 of my colleagues here. They were here earlier as guests, Mr. Charles Koji and that of Ambassador Saras Momo Samula. You listen to the president. What do you make of his comments in Lofa? Just 1 minute, 30 seconds each. Then I can start contact with Mr. Isaac Jackson.
Thank you very much. The president make a good case. And everything that he said is absolutely correct. I think the people of Lofa County listened very carefully. They saw tangibles. They see a man who comes from just in nowhere, like their own child from the backyard. He mentioned some of their children. He mentioned Thomas Fala and a few other people that people thought because they say Lofa County did not stand with him during the time he won. Those people are in the government today. So, that one make us happy to come from the United States and the diaspora as a whole to come here to make sure that the Liberian people give him a second chance. Just listening to his own history.
Yeah.
That alone is heart touching. So you're talking about people that stay in office for 12 years, and he just said when you subtract the Ebola crisis from the term
the
that he
COVID,
said, the COVID, then you will see that President Weah have done much better. And so when we gave him a second chance as Liberian, I think our country will go in a better direction.
Samuel, let's hear you.
Yeah, on a very serious note, the president kept speaking of unprecedented argument.
Mm-hmm.
It means, in my opinion, that it's unbearable. Those guys were there, even in their own backyard. He said, I see the guy that I took from the playing field, Honorable Thomas Pangai's father, now in the legislature. He's doing well here. Then the man you have here as vice president for 12 years, he don't have role, he don't have nothing. This little boy, my colleagues, my friends that have developmental idea like me are doing well.
And admittedly, when you go to Foya, I've been there 4 times now, rather. The streets are laid off.
Yeah.
Concrete pavement. The ladies will say to you, when these things were not here before, we used to go buy our solar light and put in the sun for sun to shine on it for get caught in the night. The roads will come in and see them. But since they provide solar light for Foya, our children can go and sit down on the solar light and set it in the night.
Yeah.
They can't walk in the market again. Before they go to school, they take their slippers or their shoes and put in plastic bag and they walk in the mud to go to school.
It's a different story. Griffey, this one basic reason why we left our comfort zone. All right? Since we be here, we transport ourselves, we come back home. This one the basic reason why we came home to talk to our people, to make sure that this president is re-elected for the second term. 6 years is not enough. Those guys that struggled for 12 years, they could not prove nothing tangible to us. Look at what the president just spoke of today in Lofa County. Mm-hmm. Now what brought us down? We're going to be here and make sure, God forbid, we're not going to have a second round. We're going to have a first round victory. Today we are with Josephine Davis in District 10. Tomorrow we go to District 9. We'll keep moving on. We go until we can make sure that this victory that we yearn for is achievable.
Okay. Now, so let me come to Courage. So you talk about yourself, 500 plus person came to vote. When do we expect the second batch of people coming to Liberia?
Those people, they comprise, let me also give kudos to the concerned Liberian headed by Mr. Marcus Gamer. They are part of that entire
Gamer was here yesterday.
Yes. And those comprise of the people from the diaspora. A few of our people arrived last night, and personally they are the party headquarters because we all parade the streets along with the in-waiting senator for District 10.
Yeah, District
10, yeah.
Yes. So they will continue arriving up to before the elections day. And as they come, they'll be dispatching the various community. And what we started doing is to,